Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here, whether I'm in New York, in Atlanta, or, as I am right now, in my hotel room in Miami. What is going on, Candle Mafia? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here for tonight's live stream. Who do we got in the chat today? Let's see. Let me bear with me, guys, as this is obviously not a normal live stream. I will kind of be bing-bonging around here through the windows. But okay, there we go. We got chat popping off. We got about 200 people in here right now. 50 likes, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, because every 100 likes we get, you guys are going to get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure. And mods, I am going to ask you guys for a special favor. I am probably not going to do the spins tonight, as tonight is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter live stream, as throughout this week I am going to try to go live or at least put market updates out every single day, but they will probably be a little bit off schedule as we have things going on here in Miami at the Bitcoin conference, which actually hasn't even started yet, but we are here for the escape room for BitBoy Crypto. So smash that like button, guys. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on that wheel of pain and pleasure, where you could win some free crypto, maybe a free Frankie Candles hat, maybe a free month of the premium Discord, or I think last week we gave away some free BitLab Academy subscriptions. So definitely smash up that like button, guys. Smash the like button if you like Miami. But guys, we got a lot of good stuff to look at on the charts here today. It's going to be a great show. Again, it is going to probably be a very short show, but I want to break down to you guys kind of what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, kind of, chit-chat with the chat, and just kind of hang out with you guys. And if you guys have not already, go ahead and wish Tony D a very happy birthday in the chat. It is his birthday. I think he's like 54 now. He's getting up there, guys. I'm just kidding. I think he's 32. But shout out to Tony D, guys. Let him know. I see everybody shouting him out in chat already. But guys, without further ado, while you're wishing Tony D happy birthday, I see only 57% of people wishing him happy birthday. Let's try to get that number up to 100. But while you guys are doing that, let me go ahead and say what is going on to the Candle Mafia. Let's see, guys. I had to take advantage of the Miami haircuts, because you guys know I struggle in Atlanta with those haircuts. But we get them in New York. Sometimes we fly the barber down from New York to Atlanta, or actually we only did that once, but Miami's got fire haircuts too, so I just got cut up, but I have a hat on because, it's all messy. But let's see who we got going on, who we got in chat here. Shout out to Nigel Smith. Thank you for being here, bro. We got Michael Miller. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. Chemistry, bro. As always, one of our wonderful mods in chat says, smash that like button, guys. Bro said it, not me. Shout out to Armin Clark. Thank you for being here. Darren does things as always. Happy to have you in here, bro. You're in every single chat I got, every single comment. You are all over the place, Darren. Shout out to you, man. Said LFG, hit that like. Let's go. The sauce is brewing. Let's go. And this is special spicy Miami sauce, guys. Shout out to Darren. Shout out to Metabytes with the Pepe emojis. Let's go. I forgot we added those emojis to the membership. Shout out to Sir Quest. Jessica, our female CandleMafia representative. What is going on? Thank you for being here, Jessica. We got Kenneth, Music Tags, Mr. Blake, Underdog G, Connor Anderson. What's going on, bro? Thank you for being here. John Davis, Hannah King, the one and only Hannah King. What is going on? Nate Anderson, not to be confused. I think that's Connor's brother. But yeah, shout out to New England FSD. Bob from accounting in the chat. Let's see. Bob from accounting said, dude, can you do me a solid and stop by my ex's place and pick up some stuff I left? I guess is what you meant to say. I owe you. Shout out to Bob from accounting. I appreciate you, bro. I'll have to try to just shoot me that address on Discord, and I will head over there. But last but not least, we got Crypto Degen. We got DOB out there with the Ethereum logo. Tony D, the birthday boy, in chat, guys. And let's see. Crypto Infinity, because I can bump it in chat too. Deepak, what is going on, bro? And last but not least, Medic Money, what is going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in. We got 300 people in here. Let's go ahead and not waste any more time and go ahead and jump on in to the charts. Now that I assume no one told me they can't hear me, so I assume you guys can hear me perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here real quick. And I think you guys can still hear me. But guys, let's go ahead and pull up the charts here because we do have some interesting stuff to look at. Now, I don't think you guys can see my face, but that is okay. But excuse me. Let's go ahead and dig in here, guys. Not really much has changed, honestly, since my market update this afternoon. If you guys wanted to go back and watch that to see kind of what I was talking about, I'm going to cover a lot of it in this live stream, but not too much has happened since then. But I do just kind of want to go over the price action. What am I looking for? Okay, yeah, this is a fresh chart. Okay, so first off, guys, I do just want to go ahead and hide all the indicators and just take a look. Actually, I'm going to keep up Market Cipher B, and I do just want to kind of take a look and talk to you guys about kind of what I'm expecting here in the near to medium term. Now, if we come up to the higher time frames, guys, you can see here on the daily, this is kind of the number one thing that is making me a little bit concerned. Not concerned, but this is kind of one of the things that is, kind of making me think that maybe we may not, or I don't want to say I don't think we'll hold the lows, but this is what I am looking at to kind of determine if we are going to hold these range lows, right? Because as we did get this very, very nice bounce, as you guys know, we were kind of looking, excuse me. I still have like a lingering cough from whatever I was sick with last week, guys. Sorry about that. But as you can see here, right, we were looking basically at this key level last week before we got the breakdown below this low. This was kind of our key level to kind of maintain our bullish sentiment and potentially expecting a bigger move to the upside. It was this level right here at about $26,500, give or take a few bucks, depending on what exchange you're looking at. But this was our key level, guys. And obviously, we did get that wick below the level and then a quick snap back up above that level, close the candle above that, above this wick, which in my opinion was a very, very good sign for holding these range lows, right? And again, as you guys know, we were not getting very bearish at these lows, even though we had this head and shoulders pattern forming. We were really looking for bounces and longs at these levels, which we did wind up getting a decent bounce off of, which was pretty bullish, right? Now, not only that, guys, but if you come on over to the weekly time frame, I know a lot of people are looking at this, but if you go ahead and turn on the 200-week moving average, you could kind of see here, right? We almost came down to tap that 200-week moving average almost perfectly, right? Now, this is a pretty bullish sign as well, right? This is kind of a bullish confluence because kind of the way this looks, right? Let me pull up the actual Bitstamp chart just so we can get a little bit of a more price history here. And let me go ahead and just hide the drawings. But you can see here, guys, Right, we got this move off of the lows, bearishly retested that 200-week moving average like we did back here before getting rejected. We came back up, tested it, got well, almost tested it, then came up, actually tapped the level, got a little rejection, and then we got that beautiful pullback and that beautiful shot back up above the 200-week moving average. And as you guys know, I was kind of looking at this, and we were talking about how I'm actually just going to go ahead and clear this stuff. Talking about how we never really came down to test that 200-week moving average as support. And, we finally did get that wick down to tap that 200-week moving average. This was part of the reason why we were looking at that level at about 26,500, because if we snapped back up and held above that level, we would essentially still be above the 200-week moving average. And kind of the bullish case here in the long term, guys, is that we got our initial move to the upside, first pullback, giving us we got our low, our high, our higher low, then we got our higher high, and this could be kind of where we are putting in that higher low to continue to the upside. This is the bullish case, right? So it would be very, very good that we held that 200-week moving average. We finally came down to test it, obviously coming down to the lower time frames as we just looked at. We got that beautiful swing failure right here off of this wick, which again is a pretty bullish sign in my opinion. And that was kind of was making me think we would hold these lows at least temporarily, right? And I'm going to pull up the chart that we were looking at last week, and in previous streams to kind of just give you guys a little bit more of a familiar look. But, as we hold above this level, guys, we do have some things that are a little bit concerning, right? Again, coming back to the daily, our money flow on the daily is continuing to come out to the downside. Daily green dot also giving us a little VWAP flop here, potentially, if we do not start getting things going pretty quickly. This may be able to flop back over and give us another red dot on the daily. And the reason why I am being very, very, or kind of why I would potentially be expecting that to happen would be because if you look at the 16 and the 12 hour, you can see our VWAPs are coming to the downside, looking to print that red dot. On the again, the 12 and the 16 hour, our 10 hour red dot is now confirmed with money flow continuing to come out. Let me turn off this moving average real quick. If that 12 and 16 hour red dot does wind up going to print or winds up printing, that is going to be somewhat of a bearish sign because as you guys know, in that market update, I think I talked about this in the market update that I posted not too long ago, earlier today. If you come down to some of these lower time frames like the 1 hour, our money flow is continuing to come out. Obviously, we were starting to come out there in the market update and we are still continuing to the downside, right? And the money flow, again, is a more indicating or more of an indicator of the longer term trend, right? So, this plus the 12 and the 16 hour money flow crossovers. Your 90-minute money flow is also starting to come out, which again can be very powerful when paired with a daily red dot, which again may be around the corner here. And then again, that 1 hour money flow crossover, the 90-minute money flow crossover with the 12 and the 16 hour red dots could also wind up playing out a little bit more bearishly and could wind up giving us a decent move down. Now, obviously, in my market update, we did kind of talk about the lower levels that I am interested in or watching. And kind of the line in the sand where I will likely flip more bearish. As you guys remember, recently it was kind of the decisive loss of this level was kind of where I was expecting to come down to that $25,000, area as our next major level of support. But then we got that swing failure. We just got that quick wick below the level. And then we wound up closing it, at least on the daily, right above that level, which again is a really good sign in my opinion. But this 16 and 12 hour are something we have to keep our eye on. Nothing super, super, super bearish about it. There's no divergence or anything like that. But again, when paired with these lower time frames, having our money flow coming to the downside like it is not really that good of a look. Now, if we had a divergence, I'd be much more worried about this. But kind of what I would be keeping an eye out for, guys, again, if we do print those red dots and they do give us a bigger move to the downside is, kind of the key levels we're looking at. Let me see if I can pull this up. So this is kind of the level, this is kind of the chart that we've been looking at. But actually, I'm going to pull it up on the clean chart because I think it'll be a little easier for everybody to see, right? So I'm going to pull our range here. Now, This is the range that we've been looking at for quite some time. And you guys can see here that, I went over this in the market update, right? What were we looking for? The reason we were not getting bearish at these lows was because we knew we would be coming down to support, right? This is obviously support. So we were not looking to short this breakdown. I feel bad for anybody who did because, just classically, they see the break of the level, they enter their short, they're in the green, and then boom, they're absolutely wrecked, right? This is why we don't short support, and that's why we look at the volume profiles. So we know where the important levels of support and resistance are, right? So I'm going to actually draw this as a little bit of a box. Now, let me go ahead and turn this blue because that's what I use for support. And, this is kind of our box, right? Now, what were we looking for to kind of flip bullish on this chart, right? We were looking for that potential breakdown, but looking for a quick recovery, which we did get. And then the mission at this point was to get above this level and flip the value area low to support. And where are we approaching right now? We are approaching that value area low. And we know if we wind up, why can't I get rid of this? Okay, there we go. We know that if we are able to get down here and tap that value area low, right, and test it and hold it as support decisively, this would likely be, if you could get a bullish setup down here to enter a long position, it would likely be the beginning of your bigger move up towards your next target, which in this case would be your point of control right here at about $28,060. And then obviously, just like any other volume profile, if you're able to get above the POC and you bullishly retest, you could come on up here to that value area high is your next likely stop coming in at about $29,100. Now, you guys, this is basically how we trade the volume profiles because you'll know, if you watch the stream, you will know that I am short. Let me come down to the 4 hour. I am short right from the top of the range, right? I am short from right here. And the reason for that is because I knew that when I came out of the value area, there was a likely chance that I would get sucked back into the area of balance, aka the value area, aka the range that we're looking at, right? When I say value area, when I say, area of balance or anything like that, guys, I'm just simply talking about the range that we're currently looking at between the value area high right here and the value area low right here. And then you have your point of control right in the middle. And I know that when you come out of the value area, price wants to seek out the area of balance. It wants to, when you, again, I talk about this a lot, but when you come out of your value area high, you can think of this as overbought, and you can expect it to return to balance, right, back into the range. Same thing happened right here. You came out of balance, then you came back down towards that POC, then we came out of balance again, came back down towards the POC, and then eventually the value area low, which is typically what you see happen. We talked about this as we were hovering around at these prices, saying, hey, guys, if we break back below this value area high and bearishly retest, that may be a place to look for a short because we know then it's going to be likely to come to the POC, bearishly retest the POC, and eventually get a move to the low. And that is part of the reason why I was looking to get into the short position that I was in. Now, the reason I bring this up, guys, is just like we broke down, bearishly retested, and came to the value area low, I like to break things out, down a little bit more simply, right? Now, what are we having on the opposite end? I did this with the premium live stream earlier today. I just inverted the scale. What do we have here? Breakdown, bearish retest, and then in this case, we were looking for a short. You'd look to get a move down to the value area low. But again, by inverting the scale, we know this is the value area high. Just turn the chart upside down. So we're seeing a very, very, very similar thing as we did right here. And we came down to the value area low, which again was exactly what we expected. And this is basically what we're looking for in the opposite direction. A break below the value area low where we are technically oversold, right? And price is likely to seek out balance again, which it did. It broke back above the value area low, came up a little bit, and now we are coming down to really test this as support. So we are approaching our next key level of support, guys. If we start getting bullish confirmations here, that might be a good place to be looking for longs. For me, not for you guys, because you have to do your own TA, and this is not financial advice, obviously, but this is where I would be looking for longs. Now, with that being said, we have to keep in mind that these 12 and 16-hour red dots are looking to print with money flow coming out on the lower time frames, right? And we were looking at this earlier today where we had our bullish divergence here we had this little very, very little bullish divergence here on the 1 hour, where you have your lower lows on price with your higher lows on your momentum waves. We are also coming into a local golden pocket right here, but I was saying to the premium Discord, like, hey guys, I'm not taking that trade, and the reason being is because sure, you have a bullish divergence here, which is all good and dandy, maybe for a very small time frame scalp, but look at this. Your money flow is coming straight out here. So when you have your money flow fighting against you like that, it doesn't mean you can't get a bounce off of that divergence. However, it does make it a little less likely to play out as a big move back to the top of the range. So again, it's guys, money flow very rarely lies, right? So unless this money flow aggressively started coming back up, I wouldn't expect that bounce to give us a big move, right? And that's kind of what I was talking about. And now we kind of have a third bottom here. It's almost like a exaggerated divergence with equal lows, with our creeping down to get some lower lows on our price action. But again, because money flow is coming out, I'm not really putting too much weight on that. So let me just check in on chat real quick. Okay. All right. No red dots. No one telling me they can't hear me. Okay. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on here. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, you guys can see the screen. Okay, cool. Okay, beautiful. That was my preview is way behind. Okay, beautiful. Shout out to Crypto Anon in the house. What is going on, bro? Anon, when are you getting down here? Let me know. Hey, Lane Hughes in the chat. What is going on, Lane Hughes? What's up, my guy? Miss you so much. I had to pop in and say hello to the boys. Miss you, man. Shout out to Lane Hughes. What is going on, bro? Welcome back. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. Justin Burdick says my LFG isn't cool. Shout out to Apples Up North for the 5 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Shout out to Apples Up North. Shout out to Kenton Smith too with the 5 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. And shout out to Hannah King gifting a membership as well. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the absolute best. And shout out to whoever got those. I don't know who got them. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate you for supporting. This is awesome. This is literally why we are the best community on YouTube. I don't just mean in crypto. But guys, let's jump right back in here. Now, again, we were coming up to a local golden pocket here with that little 1 hour bull div, again, with money flow coming out, which is why I wasn't really taking it very seriously. But really what I'm looking for here, guys, as we approach these levels of support is I would like to come down and actually test this value area low, coming in at about $26,800, $26,780. Right here is the level. I would call it about, 26.8 is what I would call it. However, being very careful, right? Because again, in my market update, I talked about another level that I would much rather look at, and that is just looking at our golden pocket retracements, right? From the low to the high, you can see we do have a local golden pocket at the bottom of this blue box, coming in a little closer to about 26.5, and as you guys know, that $26,500 level is our kind of wick down here, which again was a little not invalidated. I will still be looking at this level, but we did break it, right? So it's not as significant of a level, that for me at least. But if we do get a move down here, guys, I would love to push a little deeper into this blue box, come test that golden pocket. And as you know, guys, a lot of times Bitcoin will make a low, come up, and make a higher low. And where do those higher lows usually come in? It's the same thing with shorts, right? I also talked to the premium about this, or maybe I looked at this on the market update. When you're looking at this move up, or looking at this move to the downside, right? And you're looking to see where is price going to come up, right? Let me go ahead and go to bar replay mode just to kind of show you guys how I would handle this, right? So let's say you're looking at this move to the downside, and you're looking like, okay, we're getting a little bounce here. How high could we potentially go? Where am I expecting resistance? What I would do is I would pull a golden pocket from the high of the initial move to the low, and I would expect a pullback, a retracement back up into that golden pocket, which obviously, we didn't predict this. We knew that happened. We predicted it when it actually happened. But as you can see, right, we come right into that golden pocket, and what do? We essentially have a high, And then we have, we technically have a lower high here, but you have a high, right? And then you got a low. And then we're looking for a potential lower high as we have our money flow coming out, right? Because our money flow coming out right here was indicating that we may be starting a downtrend, right? So we have the high, the low, and now we're looking for a lower high specifically to come in not only on that golden pocket, but potentially and even get a second push into the 786 before putting that lower high in, right? Again, high, lower high, to get in order to continue the downtrend, right? And what happened? We came right up into that golden pocket retracement, tapped it a couple times, and then bang, we came and put in on a lower low, right? So that is the continuation of your downtrend, which we obviously know wound up continuing down much, much further, right? So we're looking for the same thing, but in the opposite direction, right? Now we're looking for, let me actually, I just get out of this. And you can see here, right, we're doing the same thing, but just in the opposite direction. Again, if I inverted the scale, right, if I invert the scale here, it's the same thing that we were just looking at on that move down and getting that retracement to the upside. We got that. This is perfect. This is a perfect example, right? Again, we were just looking at this example. We came down, we got that move back into the golden pocket, right? So if we invert the scale and look at our current situation, what are we looking at, right? We got the move down, and now we're looking for a retracement. And although this is a very, very interesting level of support, guys, there is a lot of confluence in this blue box. But we could potentially expect price to push into that golden pocket before putting in the quote-unquote lower high. We all know that this chart is inverted. I want to be very clear about that. We're looking for a higher low, but I'm just comparing it to how that short played out. We came up, we're looking for that lower high to either come in on that golden pocket to put in the quote-unquote lower high and continue the downtrend, or we could expect a second push up into the 786 to put in that lower high and to continue to the downside, right? So these are the next key levels of support I'm looking at, because again, just like Bitcoin likes to put the lower highs in, it does like to put the higher lows in the opposite direction. So this would be a very, very key level for me to watch. Obviously, I will be looking for very specific confirmations to actually get into a trade here, because because we pull into this level does not mean we're going to get that higher low, right? We could easily have just put in a lower high here. If I zoom out, we could have easily just put in this lower high from this high to the current low that we made right here at 25.8, right? And we came down, retraced into the golden pocket, and rejected. Actually, in the premium Discord, we caught this short beautifully, right? We caught this short all the way down here. It played out in full, and that's what we were looking at, right? We were looking for that. That is part of the reason I was looking at that trade, not the only reason, but part of the big reason I was looking for shorts at this level, guys, was because I knew that if price got a strong bounce here, by the time we got up here, it was a significant bounce, right? A nice little 7% bounce, almost 7.5%. And we knew there was a local golden pocket here, and we knew that would be a likely retracement level. And then we got specific confirmations that we were looking for in the Discord to actually take that trade and make some money on the way down. Shout out to, I forget exactly who it was, but shout out to whoever found that information or saw that information in the Discord. The Mafia made some money on that. Someone made like $4K, someone made $4,000, someone made $1,000 on that trade. So, you don't need big moves in the market to make big money, guys. But again, the big reason I was looking at that, the reason I was looking at that trade was because the golden pocket was here, right? And then we got our confirmations and we took the trade, right? So we're looking for the same exact thing here, just in the opposite direction. We got to move down. We pulled the fib. We know the local golden pocket retracement is right here at 26.5. That is where I'm looking for the bullish confirmations to get into a long, to potentially get a move back up, first off to your POC, which again is the middle of your range. That's always going to be, your next target if you're trading these ranges from the low or the high. You're always going to be looking to move to the POC. Always a great place to take profits, obviously, because you're expecting support on the way down and you're expecting resistance on the way up. And then potentially it could give you that move back up to your value area high at $29,000 or about 29.1, which is where you can kind of reassess the situation, look for some potential short positions back down. But kind of the line in the sand here, guys, if we do get this move down, right? So in the short term, I would actually hope that we get a further pull to the downside. Everyone starts freaking out, but we actually wind up catching a higher low here if we get confirmations. But then the invalidation there, guys, is kind of, it's a mixture between that $26,500 level, again, which is in pretty good confluence with that golden pocket. We start losing this golden pocket. You have your 786 here coming in at about $26,200. $200. But if you don't start getting the, if that's not just a wick and then the candle comes back up and closes above the golden pocket and then we start getting an aggressive move up, if that doesn't happen, if we start breaking this golden pocket and start losing the 786, this is where I would flip a little bit more bearish and kind of where I would accept that this pull into this golden pocket was just to put in a lower high. I actually would have preferred to come up to this point of control to put in a lower high, but price action is weird. It doesn't always come to your targets. So again, this could potentially be a lower high, which is what we were looking at last week, and yesterday, right? Like, we have to be careful that this big bounce to the upside, although it was very bullish, that we did close above that we got that kind of swing failure pattern on our daily, closing our daily candle above our little above this wick here. Although that is a very potentially bullish thing in my opinion. Excuse me. We have to be careful that this is not just going to be a short-lived, bounce with a lower high, and we were looking at that last week. And again, with the 12 and 16-hour money flows, 12 and 16-hour red dots looking to print, we have to be very careful if we start pushing into this blue box and golden pocket, because by the time we come down here, if we're just starting to print these red dots, there is a decent chance that we're going to break these levels and come lower, especially with the way the money flow looks on the daily. Especially with the way the money flow looks on the daily, which on Heikin-Ashi candles is looking to cross over into the red. Not there yet, but on your regular candles, as you can see, you are. If I zoom in a lot here, you can kind of see it. There you go. We have crossed over into the red on the daily on our regular candles, right? So it would be a little bit more of a bearish look. However, again, it's kind of the same situation as we were in before we visited the range lows, right? This blue box is the range lows. We were looking at these levels saying, hey, if we come down here, we're not getting overly bearish. We're looking for longs, which wound up being a very good idea because we got that bounce to the upside. But now we're not getting greedy, and we're expecting, if we do get that move down and things are looking bearish, if we get small bullish confirmations at that golden pocket, you may want to look to scalp it and, maybe target a local level for a little bit of a scalp trade. And then if you wind up coming back down and testing that value, maybe you test your value area low at this point, and that's where you hold support on your value area low and come up to the highs of your range. So that is kind of, as we work down into these prices, if price continues to come down here, I am going to be looking for longs at the golden pocket potentially, and even that 786, but then that is kind of the line in the sand where I am, if we extend this blue box all the way down to that 786, once you lose that 786, I would potentially be looking to, especially with the way the 12 and the 16-hour and the daily are looking, at least as of right now, I would look to potentially fall through our gap here and come down to that $25,000 level to our next high volume node, right? And it would make a lot of sense, right? Because you have your, you put in, you got your high, your low, your lower high, and then you're continued to move to the downside, right? And again, we put that lower high into a golden pocket, which again, that is typically where price likes to do that. So again, I was talking to some people today, and I even said in my market update, we are quite literally at a point here. There are times where we can lean very bearish or lean more bullish, but right now I do have to say, guys, I am feeling a bit more neutral right now, and just kind of sitting on my hands, waiting for price to give me a more clear signal. Because again, we had that 1 hour bull div, which a lot of people would see that and just FOMO into a long position, but we don't just trade random willy-nilly levels here, right? Like, we did not have the confluence with the money flow, so I did not take the trade, right? But I just pulled up Premiere by accident there. Actually, let me close this because... let me just close that. We'll save it. Bada boom. There we go. Okay. So, that bullish divergence obviously did not play out very well, and it's because the money flow was coming out, right? So, I am just kind of sitting on my hands. I'm not just jumping into any long confirmation here. Like, I need multiple levels of confirmation, and I would rather push down into these levels and get a little bit more of a clear bullish signal to go long. And again, if I do go long, I will be targeting. If we do get that, if we get pushed down into this golden pocket and we get long confirmations here, and I am at the charts ready to trade, I will be taking that, but I will take it as more of a scalp position with the hopes of getting back above, let me spawn the level, back above that value area low at 26.8, right? So maybe you get your long confirmations, scalp it. I mean, depending on how much room you have here, yeah, I mean, it's 1% to the value area low. You can get a nice little 1% scalp. And, at that point, kind of assess the situation to see if it looks like you're going to break above and flip that level to support. And then you can expect the bigger move to the upside. However, especially if we come down there, you could potentially get some lower time frame bullish confirmations while the daily and the 12 and the 16 hour are looking very bearish, and still get that long scalp, and then just look for a lower high and take your profits, and then, maybe look for a short position to ride down. So I am sitting on my hands right now. I would rather wait for a more clear level. I just want you guys to know that we are approaching. Remember, keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple. Like, I know sometimes we can look at our charts and, I mean, look at all these levels and, oh my God, there's golden pockets and 786s everywhere. And you go down to the lower time frames and, we got some key levels down here and it looks clean like this. But then when you zoom out, it's very messy. I highly recommend, I was talking about this earlier, I highly recommend you guys keep a fresh chart nearby, right? Where you can just kind of draw, keep things simple, right? And I knew I did draw a lot of golden pockets and stuff on this. So this one's getting messy very quickly. But again, just keeping it very simple here, guys, keeping it very simple, we're just trading the local range. And what happened? We came out of the local range, which is why we were looking for longs, and now we're looking for the retest to turn the value area low into support, because that's our signal to come up to higher prices. And we are right now quite literally coming down to test that level. And right now, it's not like we're getting any mega bullish signals or mega bearish signals. Again, other than the 12 and the 16-hour red dots with money flow coming out on the lower time frames, there's no real mega bearish signals. But again, we're coming down to this key level, not getting any confirmations yet. So I'm looking down towards that golden pocket in case we do break down a bit more. So I just wanted to kind of go over those key levels. And again, price really hasn't moved, too aggressively in the past, 3 days, 4 days, other than this move to the upside. We basically are just back in this more local range, which I guess I could actually go ahead and give you guys some levels with, always looking at price in terms of ranges. If we go ahead and pull this, obviously, you got this little sideways range. I'll actually move this a bit. But you have this little sideways range and, bing-bonging around between the value area low and the POC, up to the value area high, back to the low. And then you got your deviation. Again, when you deviate outside of the value area, that's typically when I like to look for my short positions, because I know price wants to get sucked back into the area of balance, aka the range, or the local range you're looking at, right? So we got the deviation, and again, we took that trade in the premium Discord, and we almost came right back down to the value area low. We missed it by a little bit, but still a plenty profitable trade. We were actually, I wasn't even really looking at this range very much for that trade, but you just looking back in hindsight, you could see if we were looking at this range, I was looking at the range, but it wasn't one of the main reasons I took the trade. But we were actually targeting a golden pocket down here to take our profit, which we're sitting on top of right now. But you could just see when you deviate from the value area, if you get short signals up here, it's likely that you're going to get sucked back into the value area. So just keeping it very simple. And again, zooming out, we have come out of our value area, and now we are back in finding support. So we have to be, I am looking for longs right now. I am looking for longs until we wind up breaking the range lows. But understand, guys, I am already in my short positions from the highs of the range. So, that's basically, and right here as well, right? We got that short from right there. I am personally short from right here. And then I actually took another short from right here and another short from right here, right? Just shorting the lower highs, right? And that's why we don't short the breakdowns. We short the retest. You want to short resistance and long support, not the opposite. So that is kind of the major rundown of the sauce here, guys. Approaching key support. However, things do look like they could come down a little bit more, so there are the next levels I'm looking at, and then if we lose those, I'm going to let my shorts ride out, and I will not take the long positions unless I get the confirmations either at these levels or at the value area low. But again, I just love to break it down simply. You come above it, you come above the value area high, break down bearish retest, you're expecting the value area low with obviously a lot of noise in between, but you're eventually expecting to come to the value area low. When you break below it, you get back above. This is where you're looking for the move back to the upside, but you're looking for a bullish retest instead of a bearish retest, right? So just keeping it very simple. That is the current state of Bitcoin from my perspective, and kind of this is what I am looking for as far as, trades and, kind of the near term for Bitcoin. So we'll say that 2-hour money flow, though. A 2-hour money flow do look good, though. I will say that. That 2-hour money flow is looking pretty saucy. No divergences or anything like that. And then your 3-hour money flow is coming straight out. So again, really just sitting on my hands right now, sitting in my shorts and waiting to come down and look for more clear confirmations at some of these lower key levels. So let's go ahead and pull up chat real quick. Shout out to Dave Digital, says, you leave your shorts on, Frankie? I am wearing shorts right now. Actually, you guys wouldn't even know that because you can't see me. But shout out to Paul Wood, said, that's it. Thanks, Chemistry Bro. Thank you, Chemistry Bro, for something. Doesn't surprise me that Chemistry Bro is trying to help somebody out here. Let's see. All right, let's see. CandleMafia. Oh wait, what happened, Paul? Paul, did you lose premium access? I don't know if this is what you guys are talking about, but if you did, your membership probably just expired. Let's see. CandleMafia technical analysis. It's the lifeblood of money printing from the weak hands into the strong hands. Load your bags. Let's go. Shout out to Kevin's Awake. Let's get it, bro. Thank you for being here. And Dave Digital says, Frankie Candles, say hi to Mrs. Candles. Is she here? No way. Is Mrs. Candles here, guys? See? Oh my God. Guys, Mrs. Candles in the chat. This is like a weird new thing. Oh my God. I'm like nervous. Guys, Mrs. Candles. Hey, Mrs. Candles. How you doing? Right? Don't I look good today? Check out my haircut, Mrs. Candles. Right? Miami cut. Almost as good as but yeah, guys, show Mrs. Candles some love in the chat. I am surprised that she is here. She typically does not come into chat. Hey, Mrs. Candles, stick around. She says, at Jessica, I wasn't able to go to Miami this year. Hope you have a great time. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, Mrs. Candles could not make it, and I really want to make a joke really bad, like, dang it, she couldn't make it. I'm alone in Miami. Well, I guess I did just make the joke then. Well, guys, I might be single now. But no, shout out to Mrs. Candles. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. I love you. But yeah, BTC, my name. Shout out to Roberto Cuso. Shout out to you, man. Dave Digital said he summoned her. Let's go. Shout out to Dave Digital. Mrs. Candles, if you could please send a picture of your non-plastic hands to the Discord, that would be great. Yo, Crypto Pollo said, you're already in the 305. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We did come down a little bit early. Pollo, we are going to try to meet up with you, bro. Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to meeting you. Let's see. She's trying to figure out why you're not wearing pants while streaming. Oh, no, Don, you're going to get me in trouble, bro. You're going to get me in trouble. No Miami strip clubs. No. Of course not. Of course not. It would just be like too much plastic. I mean, it would just be like there's a bunch of like balloons in a big room. But yeah. All right, guys, let me go ahead and continue on here with the TA. Let's go ahead and pop it on up here. And let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. I do just kind of want to dig in here. Obviously, like I said, how long have we been going for? What do we got? Oh, wow, we're already on 40 minutes. Okay. Not too bad. Every BTC conference, it dumps. Shout out to Paul Wood. Yeah, people have been asking me if, I think that the conference is going to affect the price. This is my third one, guys. This is my third BTC Miami. And I will say, everybody always anticipates a big move. And I will say this, I cannot find a correlation. Every single time, nothing really happens. Even the first one I ever went to was when they announced El Salvador, and you'd think if anything was going to moon the price, it's the BTC Miami conference. Well, I don't know why that would move the price, but everyone thinks that. But on top of them, Chemistry Bro said he missed it again. Oh, am I missing your chats, bro? Hang on, let me look for it. If the Miami conference is going to pump the price here, guys, I think the El Salvador news would have done it, and it didn't. So, yeah, it's just I have not seen a. I have not seen any kind of correlation. AZTV says, Frankie, I got a sweet name for a morning show. Shout out to AZ, bro. Let me know. Shoot it to me in Discord, or leave it in a comment on this video. But let's see. Let me see if I can find Chemistry Bros chat. Did you see that the judge in the XRP SEC case has denied the SEC's motion to seal the Hinman documents and must release them into the case? Big win for XRP. Shout out to the XRP army, guys. I will take an XRP look. I will take a look at XRP right after Ethereum, and then I'll run through a couple of the alts, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up for tonight, as we do have a birthday dinner coming up for our boy Tony D. I think we're going to get some sushi, some Miami sushi. But let's go ahead and take a look here at Ethereum, or Ethereum, as your grandmother might call it. All right, taking a look here at the daily. Not looking as bad as Bitcoin, right? Not looking as bad as Bitcoin, right? Not that Bitcoin's looking like horrific or anything, but it's just definitely looking, a little bit better, as your money flow is still in the green on your Heikens and your regular candles. Green dot confirmed. Again, you are getting a little bit of that flop here. So, that is, something to keep an eye on. Your 16-hour, VWAP's coming down generally, but not as close to printing a red dot as they are on Bitcoin. So, yeah, I would say 10-hour, you didn't get a 10-hour red dot. You kind of got support on that zero line. But taking a look at the 8-hour, no red dot. You got support on the zero line. You did get the 6-hour red dot, money flow crossover into the green. Excuse me. Take a look at the 4-hour, green dot confirmed. Yeah, let's see here. Ooh. Something I would look at here. Well, you got your money flow coming up. All right, you got your money flow coming up. I don't hate that. Take a look at the 2-hour money flow in the green. 1 hour, money flow generally coming down. Interesting. Let's continue on here. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Red dot, no bear div, but you did get your red dot on your momentum waves. I would say, let's see, money flow coming back out. Yeah, Ethereum does not look as bad as Bitcoin. Money flow coming up into the green on the 24-minute, 30-minute, very, very close behind it. Money flow coming back out on the 30-minute, actually. But, yeah, money flow crossing over into the green here. Take a look at the 2-hour. Yeah, I mean, Ethereum definitely looks better than Bitcoin. But again, I don't really know how much that means. If Bitcoin's going to dump, Ethereum will likely follow in some form or fashion. But just kind of looking at the higher time frames here, guys, let's kind of talk about where we're at, right? Now, as you guys know, again, shout out to the volume profiles. What was this, last week? Last week or, a while ago, we were looking as we were approaching these lows, this key level, which is right here by the 786, this blue box essentially right here, was our key level of support that we were looking at and, saying if we break below this level, we will be getting accepted back into this area of balance, in which case we can expect, if we can't get back above that value area high and we break below it, we can expect a move down here to about 1730. And what happened here, right? Let's go ahead and take a look. We broke below that value area high, and what happened? We came right to 1730, almost to the dollar, right? And again, it's not because I'm, a wizard. It's because, let me just make sure, okay, I'm just making sure you guys can see my screen. It's because we're using the volume profiles. This is how we're finding these levels, guys. This is what I teach every day on this live stream, and this is how we're predicting these moves, right? And then what happened when we got support on the value area low? Right? Now, obviously, we'd have to look for the long confirmations, but we went from the value area high, bearishly retested, came to the lows where we would be looking for longs, and where would we look to long to? We would look to long to the value area high, which is where we're sitting at right now. Now, if I go ahead and pull up the visible range volume profile, whoops. Yeah, if we pull up the visible range here, you could see we are fighting this key level. If we break above this level, if we could get above that golden pocket, I would look for a move up into this level at about 1870 to be the next major stop for Ethereum, right? And then if we can crack above that level, I would look for a move up here closer to about $1,900. And then if I pull this kind of more local range from up here, Just pull that whole thing. Yeah, you can see that point of control of your range from up here does come in right on that $19,000 level, or $19,015. So if we can break, again, you're just looking at the value areas. You have your range down here, right? Let me clear this up. Let me pull up a fresh chart real quick. Let me pull up a fresh Ethereum here. Let's pull up the Bitstamp chart. That is the Bitstamp chart. Well, let's pull up the Coinbase chart. Okay, there we go. What is this? This doesn't even look like must be someone else. That's funny. I never draw lines like this. It's funny. These are my lines for sure. I could tell though. These are not my lines. That is funny. Interesting. But anyway, let me go ahead and I'll clear all this stuff. But again, guys, we're just looking at your ranges, right? Let's come down to a little bit of a lower time frame, and you can see, right? Actually, let me just go back to that other chart real quick just to see where those ranges actually are. Okay. So let me go back to the clean chart, and yeah, let's go ahead and pull our ranges. I'm going to have to unextend them. Boom. It's going to be different because it's on a different exchange. All right, we'll just look at this chart then. That is fine. Sorry about that, guys. Bear with me here. I'm dealing with a very, very small screen that I can't have multiple things open on. Okay, so here we go. Right, again, you're just looking at your ranges, right? You got your little range from over here, this area consolidation, and then you have another range up here with your lows at this level, and then obviously you have highs up here, and then you have that deviation, right? So these are basically the two ranges that we're looking at. Again, one right here, and then the one from up above. And again, you're just looking at these levels as ranges, right? So we were trading in this range. We knew if we broke into this range, we'd come down to 1730. That is exactly what we saw right here. And now we are looking to get out of this range again and potentially come up to the POC of your next range, again, coming in at 1919. So again, just looking at the market in terms of ranges. You leave this range, you're going to come up into this range, more likely than not, right? If you break that value area high, if you break this value area, you're already accepted into the value area low, right? You're already getting accepted into the range. Now you just got to get past the previous value area high to shoot up to your next target, which again would be the POC, and then eventually up to your value area high right up here, right, coming in at about 1950. So that's kind of that's kind of what I'm looking at on ETH right now, guys. Again, just looking at the lower range, right, the lower range from down here, and then the higher range from up here. So those are the two next targets I'd be looking at for Ethereum. Again, not looking as bad as Bitcoin in my opinion, but I'm going to pull up that other chart real quick, and I want to see something. If we do wind up getting a move up here, I want to find we're on the 4 hour. Let's go to the 2 hour. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so if I go ahead, this is likely where we rejected from this local golden pocket. Okay, where's the next local golden? Yeah, I would look. This is kind of what I would look for if I was looking for something on ETH, right? Again, not looking as bad as Bitcoin, right? Like even your 1 hour money flow is your 1 hour money flow is coming back up on ETH, although you are generally making lower highs. So keep that in mind. But what I would look for a potential short on ETH. Now, this is very speculative, right? There's no saying that we're even going to get up here. But if we did, excuse me, get a move up here and we break above this level and we get a push up here, I would look. It's a little freebie. It's a little freebie for the Frankie Candles live stream here. No guarantees that we even get this presented to us. But if we did, you can get that higher high on your price on the 2 hour into this key level of the golden pocket. This is a freebie, guys. Into this golden pocket, and you get a higher high on price, and you get this little, lower high on your momentum wave, giving you that alligator mouth, giving you that bearish divergence. We know that's likely to puke out those red candles. I'm sorry. So that is something I would look at on Ethereum for a potential scalp short. And really, I wouldn't even be looking to take it down that low. I would really just look to, ride that down to the value area high at about 1834. Now we're giving it all away. But there's no guarantee we even get the setup to happen. This is like not enter a short right now. You have to wait for price to develop into this golden pocket. You got to get your confirmation. But yeah, if you got your higher highs with your lower highs on your momentum waves, your money flow's coming into the green. So you want to make sure your money flow's coming out maybe on some of the lower time frames. Maybe your 1 or 16 and 12 hour red dots are printing, right? You want to have confluence between different time frames. But again, keeping it simple, right? Let me get rid of these lines. Just trying to keep it simple, right? You're just looking for you're just looking for lower highs, right? You got a high here, low, could be a lower high, right? And then we're just looking to continue a downtrend, right? But that lower high may come in the form of a higher high on the lower time frames to give you a bearish divergence, which you can't see on this time frame because we were looking at that on a lower time frame. But again, just kind of, I like to show what the thought that goes into my trade setups. I'm already looking for a lower high here, and when it comes to the 2 hour, the 1 hour, I'm like, all right, well, what would that look like? What could that potentially look like on a lower time frame where I could find entries? Well, on the 2 hour, if we do push up into the golden pocket to put in that lower high, what would that do? It would actually give me a higher high on my price action on the lower time frames, and I know if I see the bearish divergence, that would be a scalpable move. Again, I would scalp that down to the value area high personally, not financial advice. I'm not telling anybody to take that trade. You probably shouldn't take that trade because why would you trade? You're not gonna. No one makes money trading, right? I'm just kidding, guys. But got to be careful here. I'm not a financial advisor, and there's no guarantees that trade will play out. But that's just what I would look at, and I think that helps some people, that watch the live stream. So that is what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Let's go ahead and jump right into XRP, guys, as we did get that news. And there she goes, right? There she goes with the nice little pop ski to the upside. Let me just come up here really quickly, pop on my face because I don't want to reveal any personal information here. But let's see. Yeah, when did this come out? Okay, so yeah, it came out not too long ago. But let's go ahead and take a look at what the charts are saying. Let's see. Share the screen. Bada boom. Back to the chart. Here we go. So nice little pop up here on XRP. And I mean, guys, I don't know. I know I talk about the volume. Now, I have not looked at the XRP chart today, right? I don't even think I looked at it yesterday. But I already see, right? What do I see when I look at this range, right? I see what do I see when I look at this price action? I see a big range, right? So this is where I would go ahead and pull, a volume profile. We have our highs up here, our lows up here, right? Now, people might think, right, like, oh, God, man, like, I wish I knew about that news because I could have profited off this, move to the upside. Well, I'll show you how I would have done that on a technical level without even knowing the news came out. Now, this might not work, right? If I go down to lower time frames, there might not be any entries. But how I would approach this, right, if I was looking to trade XRP is I would pull up my range. I have my range here, highs up here, lows down here for the most part, right? So what are we doing here, right? We're looking for shorts at the highs, and we're looking for longs at the lows, right? So I would come down to a lower time frame now that I have my level set, and I'm basically looking for bullish confirmations at the lows of the range, right? So what happened here? Let's see if we could find any good entries here, right? Or that we could have seen, right? And it's right here. It's textbook. It's absolutely textbook. What do you have? You have lower lows into your value area low, right? Lower lows into your value area low. Whoops. With higher lows on your momentum waves. Not only that, you got your money flow coming up as well, crossing over into the green. This would have been a beautiful scalp trade. Now, guys, it is. I do want to be very clear. It is much easier, to go back and find these setups because you can be like, look, you could have just got in here and made money. Now, when you're in the current moment, right? If we use bar replay mode real quick, I want to be very transparent here, guys. Right? If we come back here, right, and you're looking. Let's spawn our levels here. Bada boom, right? You're like, oh my God, we just wicked really far below the value area low. And then you're watching, oh no, we're coming down. Okay. Oh my God, we're breaking the range. Oh my God, we're breaking the range, right? So a lot of people aren't really going to long this because they're going to be getting bearish because, oh my God, we broke down. We closed this. We're going to close this candle underneath here. Oh my God, this is bearish, right? Even though you have higher lows on your momentum waves and you have the bullish divergence forming, right? And this is on, I believe, the 15-minute time frame. Yep. So it's a lot, it's a lot harder to take a long position when price is melting, below your levels, right? But you got to trust in your TA. You get the bullish divergences here, right? And then you're like, oh my God, right? That was in the moment, the candle printed, but in the moment, you're like, oh my God, that's your bearish retest. But yeah, and then boom, right here, you start printing that bullish divergence, you get accepted back into the range. And this is where I obviously was not looking at this as a trade because I wasn't watching XRP at the time. But this is where I'm looking to potentially get into a trade and ride this back up to the value area high, right? Your stop loss can go, depending on your risk tolerance. But that's where you're looking to get a little scalp long. This is just like your doo-doo-doo on the X. Oh, look, a potential scalp long. Let me get in and ride it to the POC, see if I can get it up to the POC. Do-do-do, right? Okay, well, oh my God, we're ripping, right? And this is how you turn a little scalp trade that you wanted to just get 1.7%, and then you get a break below that, above that level, and you get that bigger move to the upside, right? So and that is without even knowing that news came out. That's how you could have caught that move, right? If I was actively scalping XRP at this moment, that would have been a trade that I took, right? And I was only looking at one time frame. If I was actually trading it, I would be looking at way more time frames to find more confluence. But I don't want to really spend the time on the live stream here. But again, just based off of technicals, right? So there's been times where I'm sitting in fire longs or fire shorts just by trading the way I trade, and then someone comes up to me and goes, "Oh my God, did you see XRP's ripping because of the news?" And I'm like, I'm in a long on XRP, but I longed a bullish divergence into the value area low. Like, I had no idea the news was coming out. I don't really, I pay attention to the news, but I'm not watching it like a hawk. I'm not a fundamental trader. I'm a technical trader, and this is a perfect example of show me the charts and I'll tell you the news, right? And now it's not the most mega bull signal here. Again, I would just treat that as a scalp, but this is how you can do this. This is how you can trade these assets and make money whether you get news or not, right? It's like you could put me on any coin that has moved or is not, is just kind of ranging. If you're in a range like this, it's just a beautiful place and a beautiful way to trade. And you probably would have taken this trade and it would have just been a scalp, right? You would have taken this short potentially, right? And it would have just been a scalp, right? And then you could have taken that trade. It would have just been a scalp. It would have just been a scalp, right? But that's nice, clean, constant money coming in, right? Obviously, I'm generalizing here. You may have gotten stopped out on one. You might have lost a couple of them, but that's the gist of it, right? And then you're shorting it, right? And you get a rejection, right? Another little scalp here, and then you get a nice long setup, and you're looking for another scalp, and that's what I mean by turning little scalp trades, little singles and doubles, and turning them into home runs, right? We always say, when we had Garrett Soloway on that one time, he was saying, singles and doubles will make you a millionaire, and the going for grand slams all the time will make you broke. I'd rather go for a single, right? Oh, nice. A single, nice. Oh, a single, nice. Oh, you got a double, nice. You got a single, and then eventually, oh, look, I got a grand slam. But you want to let the grand slams surprise you, right? You don't want to shoot for the moon. That is how you will wreck your account. You want to go for the small wins over time, and then once in a while, you will get those surprise runners that you just hold onto and cash out on. So I'll spit a little sauce on that for you guys. So hopefully you guys, hopefully it helps somebody out there. But let's see what we can expect out of XRP potentially in the near future. So let's go ahead and get rid of this, and let's go ahead and dig on in here. Let me actually come to this chart, because I'm going to pull some new levels. Okay, so taking a look at the 4-hour here, right? So obviously, we had another little sideways range up here, so I'm going to pull some volume on that. Bada boom, right? I'm going to unextend it just to get that selected price action right here. So we now know, right? I'm looking at things in terms of ranges. You have a range there. You have a range here. Obviously, we are breaking out of this range currently. And I can almost guarantee you that we have somewhat of a volume gap here, right? And the reason I say that, guys, is because what happened here? Quick move. Right? Quick move right here. This seemed to move pretty quickly. Seemed to move pretty quickly right here as well. Seemed to move pretty quickly right here as well. And we got a wick up here where price started moving very quickly, right? So this tells me in this area, people are, not, there's not really much holding us up or down in this area, which makes me think there's a volume gap there. Please, for the love of God, please be a volume gap. And look at that, right? Look at that. Big old volume gap, right? So honestly, if we push any higher than we're pushing right now, guys, I will say it is going to be very likely. I would say once you break that, 44-cent level, 43.9, right? Once we break that, that is likely where we are going to get a quicker move to the upside, and I would expect, some support or resistance at about 45 cents. So it might be a quick move from 44 through that gap up to about 45 cents, and potentially even, I would be watching the previous value area low of this range as well. That is going to be something to keep an eye on as well, right? So if we do get a move up, there really isn't much holding us back up until this blue box. So we might see this candle start to tear, absolutely rip through this level into the blue box. And then if you could flip that blue box to support, right? Let's say you get a move up, bing. right? You get a move right up into your value area low because you're flying through that low volume gap because there's nothing holding you down, just like there was nothing holding you up here and you just shot right down here. There's going to be nothing holding you up on the way up, and it is going to be likely that you push up into this blue box pretty quickly. Obviously, you could find resistance on this box, but essentially it's going to be a quick move up to the blue box, potentially push up into the blue box, in which case this level here at 45.5 cents is going to be key because it will be the thing holding you back from getting up to 47 cents, right? Because you're going to pop up here. If you could flip this to support, that's where you're likely to get a move up to this range high coming in at about 47 cents, right? Obviously, your POC is right in the middle of that range. So obviously, you would want to look to potentially take some profits at that POC as it will likely act as resistance. So that is kind of what I would expect here. 4-hour green dot printing, lower time frames, money flow in the green on the 15-minute. This is, I would be careful. Nothing goes up forever. You got to take a, you have to be cautious for, local pullbacks before continuing higher. But for the most part, guys, this is basically what I would be looking at on XRP. If we are going to get a push up, we would look to get into this range again between about 45 and 47 cents is likely going to be the next stop for XRP. And then again, using kind of the same technique here, looking like, are you seeing anything familiar, right? You got your range down here, right? You got your range right here. Right? And then you don't have anything between these two ranges. So when you leave this range, it's going to be a quick move to that range. And then what happens here? Right? Another little gap up to our next range, which is something like that, right? So let's go ahead and actually pull that volume and see where that value area actually is. There we go, right? So again, I would take this value area low as a level. I would take that POC as a level, right? Let me just make that a little better. And I would take this value area high as a level, right? And you could even label them. Right? Value area high, just so you have context, right? Because these value areas will give you context on these levels. We know that this is the previous value area low, right? We know that if we break above that and hold support, it could give us a move to the value area high, right? And then again, not much between the highs of this range and the lows of this range, which are exemplified by this quick move up, this quick move down, that quick move up, that quick move up. So again, once you break these levels, you could quickly move up to the lows, flip that to support, and then get to the highs here, right? And that's getting you closer to that, back to that 50-cent level that we were at not too long ago, back in March. But that would kind of be the next look, or kind of my next, targets for XRP. If we do continue to the upside, these are kind of the levels that I would look at. And then you could even pull some golden pockets, see if you could find any decent confluence. Go ahead, select the retracement tool from the absolute high all the way to the low. Let's see if that gives us confluence anywhere. And actually, I'm actually kind of shocked. It kind of does, right? It's kind of close to this POC here, but pull it to here, you have almost perfect confluence with your value area high in the 786, and then your POC of this range and that golden pocket, right? So maybe you want to put a little weight on that POC. It's likely to get a reaction off of that, and then just kind of experiment, guys. You can pull these from this high, right? Pull it from this high to the low, right? And then you have confluence on your value area low, right? And right now, where are we hitting our head? Let's see. Is it a local golden pocket? It is. Let's go ahead and re-pull this here. From this high to, let me zoom in here so I can see a little better. From this high, right, to that low, you could see we did come up and tap that 786, right? Almost. Very, very close. Very close to that 786. So may get a little bit of a cool off here, right? But again, this is a key level. So if we can get a push up here, right, even if you kind of bing bong around here, maybe you bullishly consolidate, right, something like a bull pennant starts to form, that is where you could look for that big move up into the blue box, right? So I would expect some kind of turbulence at these levels potentially as we are hitting that 786. But yeah, shout out to XRP. Shout out to anybody in the XRP army, anyone holding XRP. I know I am holding a butt ton of it. Yeah, shout out to everybody holding XRP. And yeah, that is kind of how you could have caught that move. If you didn't know the news was coming, that's kind of, a lot of times you guys, I feel like when I look at Bitcoin, I'll be like, hey guys, if we break down from these, I'm not getting into any shorts on Bitcoin right now because I am waiting waiting to come lower with long confirmations, with better long confirmations, right? And and then I say, if we break down though, I don't care because I'm already in a short, right? And people are probably like, well, how the heck is this guy always short from the top and long from the bottom? And that's it, right? Like if Bitcoin gets some horrible news right now, we nuke, and we absolutely nuke. I am short from all the way up here, and we gave the setup to go short from the exact top. I am just personally not still in that trade. I closed this position, but at that time, people are going to be like, oh my God, Bitcoin's melting down, and I'm like, oh, I'm short from 31K. People are a lot of the time are like, how did you know Bitcoin was going to melt down? How did you short the top? It's because I didn't know I was shorting the top. I was just shorting a local top. I always treat these as local levels until they turn into being the top, right? I hope that makes sense to somebody out there. I hope that helps somebody out there to some degree. But that is, there we go. That is basically what I'm looking at on XRP. You're going to have to pull Frank away from that screen. Oh no, is Tony D calling for me? Better go party with the Mafia legend. Yeah. But I did just want to take a look at XRP as it did get that big move up. So hopefully somebody was feeling the sauce tonight. Frankie dropping the knowledge. Shout out to Timothy Bunch. Shout out to you, man. Oh, we got to bounce. We got to bounce, boo. Don't call me boo, Tony. Come on, not publicly, bro. Come on. But yeah, guys, start banging on the doors. Okay, guys, that is all the time we got for tonight's live stream. We got to go celebrate Tony's life. Shout out to him. Yeah, we're going to have some fun. We're going to get some sushi, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, how many likes did we get? I didn't really push them much, so I'm not going to be expecting anything too hot. 320 likes. Yikes. All right, smash up the like button right now, guys. And if we get 500 likes, I don't know if we're gonna hit a like goal today, but smash those likes, and we will spin the wheel tomorrow. So for the record, 3 spins will be added to the wheel tomorrow if we wind up spinning it. But if anything, guys, I will keep count, or the mods will keep count, and we will definitely go ahead and get those spins. You guys will not get regged on the spins, but with all that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in. I know my audio might not sound the best right now. We are trying to figure out a way to fix it with my actual microphone. We don't have a long enough micro USB because I forgot mine. But we're probably going to go buy one, so my audio will be better next time. But guys, thank you all so much for tuning in for this short version of a Miami live stream. But we got to go celebrate Tony's life. Thank you all. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Shout out to everybody who's gifting the memberships, and shout out to Chemistry Bro for letting me know the news on XRP. And with all that being said, guys, like I said, I'm going to be very active on this trip. We're not on a cruise ship, so I have service. We got, resources around us if anything breaks or anything. So I will be active all week. I will be doing market updates. Live streams might be a little bit wonky, but I will be keeping you guys updated with market updates and live streams every single chance I get. And with all that being said, I love each and every single one of you guys. Go have a good Tuesday night. We're going to go eat some sushi. Happy birthday to Tony D. I love you, bro. Thank you so much for everything you do. And thank you for being here from the beginning, always being in chat. Super happy that we get to go to a Miami dinner tonight. Let's go. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. That's all I got, guys. How do I do my outro? And with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, maybe 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or maybe a market update during the day, or maybe at 6 or 7 or 3. I don't know, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. Yeah, okay, all right. Oh God, minimized it. Oh no. Okay. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide, never see me coming, I'm a landmine, yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand.
He may be in Miami, guys, but I'm still doing Frankie fake outs. Let me mute this computer real quick. We're still doing Frankie fake outs, but I do just want to remind you guys, head to the description down below, guys. We are doing a Frankie Candles Bing X trading competition. There's only 3 days left to get in. They're in the links. The links in the description of all our videos. Go sign up if you guys want to take part. There's going to be $3,000 in USDT to be shared amongst the top 10 traders. I believe it will be withdrawable. So if you guys want to enter the trading competition, hit the link in the description down below and go sign up. There's only like 3 days left, so get in there, sign up, and join the trading competition. It's gonna be a blast. But anyway, yeah, Tony D is trying to break down my door right now, so I'll see you guys later. Asa Pasta Mafia, Frankie Candles out, bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the